Merry Christmas, one and all. Yes, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Probably not the choice of movie I would normally review this time of year, but you can thank Lee from Drumdums for that little bombshell. Yeah, so all the members of Scream Stream, we did this little kind of secret Santa thing, although it weren't that secret in the end. We basically just told each other who was giving what to who. So yeah, Lee gave me this film to review. What is it with Christmas movie killers named Billy? I do of course make reference to Black Christmas there, a much superior film obviously, but I think I know where Lee was going with this. It is fun, maybe not for the right reasons at times, or maybe it is for the right reasons. Maybe that is what they intended, who knows. It's a bizarre film, it's entertaining, definitely entertaining. So it follows this kid called Billy. We see him as a very young boy, and his mum and dad take him to this mental institution to see his grandfather, who is basically faking being comatose. And when everyone's out of the room, except for little Billy, this guy just comes alive. He basically tells Billy that Santa is essentially the devil incarnate, and if you're naughty, he will come round and yeah, give you a good seeing to. It just so happens that very night, some crazy clown dressed as Santa, who's just robbed a liquor store and gunned down the clerk in there, pulls over Billy and his family and then proceeds to kill his parents. Good stuff. So obviously that, coupled with the story his grandfather told him, really sets him off on a course to not like Santa or Christmas, really. From there he ends up in a school for orphans run by the sister from hell, I can only assume. Just this mother superior who is really a bully, someone who just does not understand where Billy's coming from, the trauma that he's suffered, and instead decides to punish him for every little misdemeanor that she sees fit. Eventually he cracks. Not until he's older though, you know, he's become an 18-year-old, he goes out, gets a job, and yeah, Christmas Eve night, finally he cracks. After, of all things, being made to dress as Santa and sit children on his lap. Everything up to that point, everything I've just described there, I had quite a blast with, I must say. I was enjoying seeing this inevitable decline, this journey of this killer, this would-be killer. You know, I got where it was going. There's only one inevitable outcome to this kind of psychological torture on this kid, but it made me sympathise with him. You know, it almost to a Norman Bates degree. If it wasn't for the fact that the performances in this film are pretty terrible, I probably would have sympathised with him as much as Norman Bates. But a lot of it kind of feels played for laughs, a bit tongue-in-cheek. Some wacky music choices as well, must be said. Very wacky music at times. But yeah, I enjoyed this journey, going on this journey with this kid who's just proper messed up, and no one seems to understand him except this one sister. You know, there's this one nun who's really fighting his corner, really trying to make Mother Superior see that, you know, he's gone through some stuff. Hello, that was nice to have that balance there. So, you know, so they didn't vilify everyone in the orphanage. You know, they didn't tar all nuns with the same brush, so to speak. It was nice to see that actually some of them did give a toss, did care. But ultimately the film does play as a warning to, you know, the way we treat people, you know, to look past certain behaviours and try and see the root of the problem and try and think where someone's coming from, what's their history, you know, why are they acting up. And I think, yeah, I mean, I'm getting all deep here about a you know, 1980s slasher film, but it is there. I do like that stuff in movies, you know. Just because it's a slasher with bad acting and crazy kills doesn't mean you can't have some meat on its bones, and I believe there is some meat on its bones here. I think it also deconstructs the whole myth of Santa himself, that whole notion of, you know, what we tell kids about Santa, that if you're nice you'll get presents, and if you're naughty, well, you'll just get punished. I mean, that's, when you think about it, and the way this film reveals it and shows it, it's actually a pretty terrible thing to tell kids. You know, and at every turn, the adults in this film seem to use Santa in that way. You know, there's one point where Billy kind of breaks into this house and kills this young couple who've been having sex, and there's a little girl that they're supposed to be looking after. She wanted to come downstairs and they wouldn't let her, and they use that whole, you know, if you come downstairs you won't get any presents off Santa because you're naughty. And it kind of reveals that whole twisted ideology, or that twisted myth, the way that we use the myth of Santa to get kids to do what we want them to do. And again, that plays out in a scene when Billy has been asked to be Santa at the grotto, at the store where he works, and he's got all these kids sat on his knee and they're squirming. They don't want to be there. You know, they're sat on the knee of some strange guy at the behest of their parents, who kind of forced them onto a stranger, basically. And it's just quite amusing the way he essentially threatens her. You know, and the parents are all stood around thinking, oh, he's got such a way with kids, hasn't he? What a lovely guy. If you're into slashers for the kills and that, you won't be disappointed here. There's lots of blood and gore. And yeah, I think it does go a little bit crazy towards the end. You know, once Billy gets going, there's no stopping the guy. He's off on one and that's it. It's just scene after scene of him, you know, running into people and lopping off heads, stabbing bodies, and one rather interesting killing which he throws this woman onto some deer's antlers. Cracking stuff. Yeah, just it gets a bit ballistic at the end, it must be said, and a bit contrived as well in many ways. You know, there's kind of tropes that you've seen in a lot. Although I guess, you know, with this being the 80s, I guess those tropes that I'm talking about are in films that came after this. I don't know, but certainly the idea of you know, they're after Santa, so they go to the orphanage, and the copper gets there and he sees the Santa, so he guns him down, and it turns out not to be the Santa they're after, and it's like, yeah, I totally saw that coming. You know, and again, that's a trope. But did I see it coming because films have copied it since, or has it just been in existence for so long that, yeah, it got a bit contrived. Anyway, there was times there towards the end, like the phone as well. You know, they're phoning the orphanage, and they need, for the sake of the story, they need them not to be able to get through to the orphanage, so that they get their asses to the orphanage as quick as possible. So they have this little girl on the phone to someone, and she doesn't put the phone down on the hook, and you're just like, one, I don't believe she would be in that office, because quite frankly that Mother Superior is enough to put the fear of God into anyone, so I don't know why that kid would be snooping around in Mother Superior's office to use the phone. And two, like I say, it's just the most contrived, obvious way to get that phone off the hook so that they can't call through. The character of the Mother Superior is just, she is like Nurse Ratched from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You know, she's the Nurse Ratched of nuns. She's a despicable character. I've seen this actress as well in an episode of The X-Files. I was watching this film, and the whole time I'm like, where have I seen your face? The X-Files. IMDb'd it later. The X-Files. You know, yeah. She's good here. You know, she does what is required. I think you're required to hate her, and she does that very well. I think her performance is probably the best performance in the film, if I'm being perfectly honest. I think she's clearly the actress that has some ability, unlike most of the other actors in the film. But yeah, it's good, unwholesome, non-family fun in which people get killed in various gruesome, bloody ways. If you like that kind of thing, then I think you will enjoy this. It will get you into the Christmas spirit. It's not as good as Black Christmas, but it's fun. I give it a 3 out of 5. Will I watch it again? I don't feel like I need to, but I'm happy that I have. So yeah, 3 out of 5 from me. But what about you? Have you seen Silent Night, Deadly Night? And if so, how would you compare it to the likes of Black Christmas? A film that I think is infinitely superior, but for different reasons. You know, I can see why somebody would be drawn to this film, just for sheer fun value. Yeah, comment below, let me know your thoughts. Have a Merry Christmas, and until next time, cracking.